Welcome to the STRUCTUREX Private Limited. In this session, we are going to see the things that relate with our postgraduate program in BIM technology and project management. And this is an comprehensive 6-month online and live program that enable any civil engineer or any construction engineer or any site engineer to get into the BIM and project management field. So this program are suitable for the fresher as well as the experienced candidate also. So let's see what the things inside this program, how we are doing this, all the things. So we will have some briefing about some like module and some of the things that only relate with our program. Okay, so be with us. We will see all the things. So here you can see that this is an 6-month and online program with 15 plus projects, and we have 6 plus core industrial software inside this program, and many other things. So we have total, if you see here, we have total learning, total 8 module. So we will see that how these things are going to be taken and what is this thing. So first of all, we will introduce ourselves. We are an like designer. Okay, we are a group of engineer, and we deal in structure consulting, BIM consulting, and other type of services that relate with the engineering. And also, uh, we are offering various program that enhance the career of an civil engineer to get into the structure, BIM or bridges or any department of the infrastructure they want to get into. So we help the engineer on very innovative way to get into the real structure, real time scenario of the industry, and it's quite helpful. Okay, so let's see that what is inside this program. So first of all, I will discuss about our online training program that we have, that how this training program are going to be taken, right? So first of all, here you can see that we have interview and offer letter, personal coaching, the group formation, right? And online learning, technical setup, conceptual, theoretical. So this is the list of things that definitely we are dealing with this all the things, right? After that, we will see that how the next thing is like we will get back to on this in the last of our session. So first of all, let's back to our main agenda of today's session. So let's see the PG diploma. This program are particularly designed for the like civil engineer to get into the various BIM positions. Okay, like BIM modeler, BIM technician, BIM manager, BIM coordinator. So these are the various job positions. According to that, they can decide their career. Okay, basically, if you are a fresher, so this program are quite helpful. Okay, so PG diploma program is a full-fledged training program which enable you to pursue your career in different technical positions, right? So this is an like briefing for the like why we need to do this program. After that, first of all, we need to understand that why we need to adopt this BIM, and what is this term that is called the digital twins. Okay, so the digital twins concept offer great potential value for organization. So this is like we have many aspect of the construction phases, right, or the construction industry. So in the inside the construction industry, you will see the widespread use of digital twins, right? Nowadays, it's very much increasing. So due to the digitalization, so the main things is here the Internet of IoT, that is called the Internet of Things, advanced analytical and critical sophisticated of 3D visualization. So basically, these digital twins are giving you one kind of elaboration about the component, assets, process, system, and network of system. So this is like workability by digitalization. Again, you can see that that how these things are changing our real time scenario. Okay, so we have the physical world and digital twin. So you can see the two model that we have. One is the physical world and one is the digital model. So before going to construct anything in the in this like construction industry or the AEC industry, we need to very much like clear about each and every aspect of the construction. So the digital twins are helping. the AEC industry to provide better quality of the project and better world. It's generally the build environment, our build environment is going to be like better as compare, if you compare our previous previous decade or previous like 40 or 50 year ago, the construction industry. So now the things are very much changed. Okay, so that this is like when we have the new things. So here we have like how the change in infrastructure workability by digitalization. In this one, you can see the level 1, we have level up to 5. So the a digital model linked to real world system but lacking intelligence, right? Learning of autonomous limited functionality basic mode of a map. The second level, we have a digital model with some capability for feedback and control, right? The third, we have the digital model able to provide predictive maintenance, analytical and insight, right? The fourth, we have the digital model with the capacity to learn effect effectively from various source of data, right? So these are some of the phases. In the last, the fifth point, you will see the digital model which is wider range of capability and responsibility, right? So this is basic briefing about this digitalization. Now you can see how this digital infrastructure are helping to build our city or build our like generally any infrastructure project that we have. So if you see here, like we have the sensing, right? So this picture are very much like explanatory. Like if we have any like soil or in train, so we can just make the data with the help of the sensors, like that is IoT data, the city modeling and simulation that we can do in the 3D modeling. After that, we have big data forecast and the intelligence response. So you can see the city information model is equal to GIS plus BIM plus IoT. Right. So this program are basically focused for the BIM. The GIS and IoT are the advanced application of this digital twins. Got it? So now let's come to our this why we need to like implement the BIM. So the basic philosophy behind these things are like communication, coordination, safety, construction time, schedule, and the cost. Right. So these are the common construction problem that we might face while doing the uh, while delivering the infrastructure project. Got it? So now we will see the next thing. So here we will see with another panel of our faculty member who will give you the explanation about what is this BIM, how this BIM are going to be taken, and this all kind of thing. So let's see what is this BIM and how this BIM are going to be useful. Okay, let's see.
So, in this today's session, we are going to see what is BIM, how we are introducing BIM into project management for the better output, efficient workflow, for the cost efficiency, schedule efficiency, and of course, management of a project whole life cycle. So, initially, we need to understand like what is BIM. BIM is in building information modeling in that the backbone of BIM is information. This information we are going to represent as a digital twin. So in the whole workflow, BIM starts with the BIM execution plan, then it moves to the conceptual design analysis, then detailed design with the 3D model. In the construction phase, we do 4D, 5D, and once we move to the next phase, that is operation and maintenance. Operation and maintenance usually after handover on a client side it starts. In a beam execution plan, we prepare our contractual document where we introduce how many stakeholders are going to involve, which software we are going to introduce into the whole project life cycle, what will be the timeline of a project that is beam project. Then into the conceptual design phase, we develop a 3D model based on our conceptual or the initial drawings. Once our drawings get approved, when we are having final drawings, we move to the design analysis and detailed design with a 3D model. Once we develop our 3D model, which is with the approved drawings in a detail, we in an initial phase, in a project initiation, that is into the construction phase, we work on to the 4D and 5D. In 4D, we integrate our schedule with our 3D model. That is also the information. Information is a timeline information. After integration of timeline with our model, we get a simulation, construction sequencing, we get a plan versus actual, how our progress in a project happening with respect to the plan. In 5D, we are integrating cost factor. That cost factor integration gives us a cost variation with respect to the time. How our cost going to be spent and how much we are gaining. That comparison also we get. At the end, the output will be off into the visualized database format. When you move to the operational and maintenance phase, which is after handover of our project to the client, there we there we observe, maintain our model with respect to the its operational phases and maintenance phase. So this is whole beam workflow. We are going to see into the further slides also. Here, what are the softwares are being used into the beam workflow is shown. So at 2D level, basic software that is AutoCAD is from long time, long decades, is being used into the construction industry. That is AC industry. But there are alternatives like SolidWorks is there, DraftSite is there, BricsCAD is there. So these are the software also being used and are in use in the construction sector. So to develop a 3D model, we are using basically in our construction industry, Revit software we are using. In terms with the Revit, DYANMO also been used. DYANMO is mostly used for the repetitive work structures and the replacement of this Revit. There are like an ArchiCAD, SketchUp, Rhino. So these kind of software also been used. Then to introduce the 4D, that is a timeline. Mostly the P6, MSP, Gantt Pro, Microsoft Excel also is getting used at BIM integration platform. Then comes to the data representation. So data representation comes after integration of a schedule cost. So what are the BIM integration platform are used in the construction industry? There are like an Bexel is there, SynchroPro is there, NAVISWORK, which is widely used previously. Then Trimble Connect is also one of the software. And the output of this BIM integration is comes as a dashboard, data representation for the project progress monitoring. So that we mostly use Tableau software, Power BI, Python. In Microsoft Excel also, we do a data representation. So that is digital representation, digital visualization of our BIM tools. So we all must be knowing that there are different stages of a BIM. So BIM is mostly works at a different stages. It starts with the LOD 100, then LOD 200, 300, LOD 350, LOD 400, LOD 500. So these are the different stages at which we are developing our model. We are developing our BIM project. Initially, when we are getting a project, so that time we are having only the basic drawings. We are having orientation. We are not even having orientation. We are having just at the location where our project is being developed. So that location and the type of structure which is being developed. Like if it is an infrastructure, it is a commercial project, it is educational project. So this kind of projects, so we get to know that these things only. Based on that, at LOD 100, we develop our block structure at a particular location in coordinates. Then at a schematic design drawings, when we get approximate dimensions of a model or a drawing, So we develop with the approximate dimension, schematic design, we develop our model. And then when our drawings are get approved, it comes into the proper orientation. When we get the final detailed design, when we get a dimension, final dimension, shop drawings, sorry, not a shop drawings, at the dimensions. So we get into the LOD 300. There we are developing our model, which is a detailed design developed model. When we comes into the construction phase, that time shop drawings, utilities, so that getting introduced. That phase is LOD 350, where we do analysis also, different analysis. During the construction stages, after conceptual drawings, detailed design model, after introducing utilities, in construction phase, as I previously told you, we introduced our fourth dimension, fifth dimension, schedule, cost, that is LOD 400. At the end of the project life cycle, we are doing handover of the project. So that time it comes into the as-built drawings. We submit our as-built drawings, and with respect to that, we develop our as-built model also. So there for the reconciliation, we are using our model and we hand over to the client. That is comes at a LOD 500. Then these are the different dimensions of a BI: 2D, 3D, 4D, 5D. 2D, as we all know, that it's a two-dimensional plane drawing where we are not having, we cannot able to visualize our model elevation. We are having only the length, breadth dimension. At third dimension, we're introducing our third dimension, that is elevation also, and we could able to visualize our model for the further introducing 4D and 5D. This model 3D mostly used for the design variation, for the quantification. We are using this 3D model, and of course we stored it this all the dimensions model at a common data environment for further coordination as a single source of truth. At fourth dimension, we are introducing our schedule as previously told in a previous slides. So to introduce that dimensions, introduce that time factor, we are using P6 software, MSP software, like Excel also nowadays in most of the software got introduced. So we can integrate our schedule in Excel format. Then as we move to the 5D, so there one more factor, that is cost, comes into the picture, and that we integrate. That is called as a 5D budgeting. So do we have any standards for the BI? Yes, we are having standards for the BI. As we are having standards for the different RCC structure, we are having for the safety, we are having different standards. Like that, we are having our international standard, that is ISO 19650. So this standard also been developed with the time. In that ISO 19650 part 1, we get to know about the concept and the principle of a BI. Into the second stage, at ISO 19650 part 2, we are getting the delivery phase of asset. So it shows that how our delivery phase has to be. In a third part, that is ISO 19650 there it is been introduced the operational phase. So these whole all documents has to be read and implemented on our project. Then what are the things are there into the ISO 19650? So definition, basic communication of a BI. Like what is CD, common data environment? Then we are having different levels, LODs, level of detail. Then we are having the collaboration of a BIM projects. How different projects can be collaborated onto the BIM integration platform. So this particular pathway has been introduced into it. We are having the quantitative milestones. So to fix those milestones initially into the BIM execution plan and to follow up for the whole life cycle of the project. What are the stakeholders are being managed, or what kind of access we have to give with respect to their job role is also introduced into the ISO 19650. So that we called as a stakeholder management. So ISO 19650 defines the collaborative process for effective management of a BIM, delivery and the operational phase of asset, minimizes wasteful activities and increase the predictability around cost and time. How the predictability been is get increased? Because before starting of the project, we are having the model, we are having the schedule, we are having the cost integrated. We could analyze, we could able to predict when my project could be finished. Of course, at each and every stage of project, this is getting revised. But with each and every revision, we get to know our revised timeline, our revised cost. So like that, we can raise our cases for the client. Then we all must be knowing about the common data environment. We, in a single term, we say it as a single source of truth. This is also introduced into the ISO 19650. We are telling from that one. So this is the access control based on defined roles and responsibilities. It also give a facility to measure the model dimensions, to take a section view, to compare our each level or the revisions of a drawing. If my previous revision and latest revision, what is the difference into that? So it also overlaps and shows the comparison between the revisions into the model. So on a common data environment, it's a collaborative platform where all our stakeholders are working together for the development of a project at whole project life cycle. Different stakeholders like a client, contractor, designers, planners, safety, execution, project managers. So these all are working together on the platform. These all the stakeholders having different kind of access. For example, a planner will be having access for the schedule integration, for the schedule updations. The project manager will be having the access for the 4D, for to show that to see the timeline, to see the simulation, to see the project life cycles progress, dashboards, kind of that. The contractors mostly for the DPR updates into the model, so they are having access. Designers will be having access to the whole design, whole model. What are the changes happening into the model that to update? So this kind of access been given to the each stakeholder with respect to their roles and responsibilities. Now, there is a workflow. Every project is having different workflow for the BIM implementation. This is one kind of a standard workflow. It shows the federated model development, how this model been developed, and the last outcome, that is 5D power or the 5D or the 4D Power BI reports. So how it goes into the streamline. So we introduced initially our utility design model, safety measures into the model. Then we find out the clashes. So we resolve the clashes. After resolving those clashes, how that model being shared into the common data environment. There we introduce the schedule into the CD only, those platform only. And this is all the information we are integrating on the BIM integration platform. As you can see, as you can see, as you can see, this BIM integration platform, on this platform only we are integrating our schedule, we are integrating our cost factor, we are integrating our model with all these terminologies to get our 4D simulation, to take out the quantities at the end of to get the 5D Power BI report. So that at the end we are going to get planned versus actual. We can visualize planned versus actual. We can get the cost variation with respect to the time. We can get the quantities which has been integrated with the cost to get the budget. So this whole life cycle of the project is managed at this workflow, BIM workflow.
So here you can see this is like BIM application for the structural engineer. So let's understand what is this BIM application for the structural engineer. So here you can see this is like when we have some kind of model, like this is an building a structure model, and here you can find that when we need to apply the BIM and we need to create the model in this software, we can easily adopt some type of technique, some type of tools and command to make our structural model here. And this is a direct application. Like either you can take the FEA model also to fix our all the things, or you can directly get into the software to create our model. After that, you can see that this type of structural framing we can create, right? And we can check the structural configuration, like, so this is direct application of the BIM. Not only this building structure we can control, we can also get the like exact shape, sizes of the material, the elements, right? And the we can create some kind of like sheets, drawing sheets. We can check our model with all structural element, how it's configured, right? So there are lots of application for this BIM part in the Revit structural. Got it? After that, you can not only this one, you can also create some kind of special type of you can say that a special type of things. Like you can also create the bridge structure, right? With the help of the software, you can see here we have one bridge planning. This is an like live session video from our session, so you can easily relate how these things are going to govern, how our program are going to be taken. Got it? So this is one more application of the software, that we can create the structural model, not only for the buildings, for the bridges also. Got it? So now we will see. Okay, so this is one more application of this bridge planning or the bridge engineering. You can see that it is created with the help of tool that are available in Autodesk Revit. Okay, with the real application. This is not like we just need to create some kind of form, but with the real application of the structural uh, demand, that how these things are going to govern. Like we have very much popular software that is called the Autodesk Revit. So Autodesk Revit are basically a 3D modeling software, and it is an BIM directly it's influencing the BIM industry. Okay, like if you see their interface, like generally we have the architectural, structural, and MEP planning. So each type of planning, each type of model we can create in the Revit, and we can deliver the successful project to the client, right? So these are the application that we need to focus basically on in the Revit, right? So here you can see that we have. And next, you can see that we have some more application of this BIM for the architecture. So architecture application, it means we have pre-planning, systematic plan, 2D plan, 3D model, and BIM analysis. Also, we can create the rendering, project layout, project presentation, and project report. So this is the BIM model development that we need to uh, that we need to perform in this uh, program. We have one more faculty member, so he will explain you about the Revit architecture, how we can deliver the Revit architecture project successfully, right? And we can also include some of the explanatory video that will from that you will able to realize that how these things are going to govern. You can see this is a simple layout of the of this one project, right? Here we have one villa project, and you can see that we can create each kind of their floor plan, their ceiling plan, the elevations, right? So each and everything we can control with the software. So it is quite interesting to learn the software and implement into the real world project. Right. So this is one like application we have for the architecture. Basically, see, the architecture and civil engineer, they both are involved in this type of infrastructure, because this is an the BIM is basically it's an common data sharing platform, right? So it means you have one platform to collaborate with the architecture, civil engineer, and contractor. Got it? So with the help of this architecture modeling, we can control lots of things in the software, right? And we can successfully deliver the project related with the Revit structure, Revit architecture. Now hello. Now we have application for the MEP. MEP is like mechanical, electrical, plumbing. So it is also an BIM application. So you can create the similar type of floor plan, each and everything with the help of this MEP. Right. So in MEP, I will show you some of the uh, like uh, creations. Right. So this is also an planning in the Revit. So in the Revit, you can see that when we have such kind of MEP, like this is an plant, right? The MEP planning. Inside that we include some like you can see here we have the motor. This is like water pump stations, right? And this is a particular layout, okay, to control our MEP planning, right? We can do in this software. So this is also an part of a program. You can see with the help of this model creation, you will able to see this is like one type of particular model that we need. So that's why this building information modeling it's very important. Okay, so we can you can relate with this all the things like how these things are governing, right? What is this this is like one kind of turbine or the generator we have, right? So this is like we can control and we can make this type of model into the software. Now with particular application we have one more type of like layout here. This is like airport terminal building, and here you can see this is like MEP planning for the cooling system or for the fire system. So we can make this type of project in our program, and we can easily interpret this all kind of things. Okay, so inside this program you will learn thoroughly that what is the application of this all the things and how it's going to govern. Okay, next we will see that after this application of this 3D, what is the next application? So next we have the time, cost, sustainability, facility management, and the safety. So the BIM 4D and 5D application. So basically, for the BIM, we have class deduction, scheduling, timeliner, costing, and animation. So these are the BIM 4D and 5D application. Now you can see the major like application of this BIM is like the class deduction. So we have different data of MEP, structural and architectural. So we can you can see here we have the architectural and structural in condition, civil data, gravity system, the mechanical system. So we can find the classes inside our structure and we can facilitate. So uh, now
Deck furnishing is there, over that the slab is there, and our of course girders, I-beam girders also there. So based on that, I am going to show you like how we are introducing our schedule and how this simulation we could able to visualize. With that, of course, the clashes, how we can identify that those factors also been shown in this presentation. I'll just show you one by one. This is our model having total 8 beams, our deck furnishing, our deck slab, pier cap, file caps of total 5 numbers. So how this model being shown in a selection tree, we are having a selection tree for this whole model. In this, we have shown our beams, those I-beams, bearings above the pier cap, bearing base. Our girder is also there, pier, file, file cap, slab. So while developing the 3D model into Revit, we are getting this selection trees. And for your reference, we also could develop our own selection sets also. That is from here. Now, there are 3 tabs at the top. First tab is a clash detection, timeliner, quantification. Using these tabs, we are going to find out our clashes. We are going to integrate our schedule and see the model simulation, project simulation, and to take out the quantities. Let's first move to the timeliner. Once we click onto the timeliner, one tab getting opened here. In this tab, we are having the schedule which is being integrated with our model, and the detailed of this we will be showing into the coming upcoming sessions also how we have done this. Let's move to the simulation which we have prepared for the presentation. We are having this tab simulate. So to visualize the simulation, it starts into the simulate tab. Let's see the simulation how it happens. This is it. So how with the time, the sequencing of the project has to be performed on ground is shown. Initially, the development of a files, then after developing of a files, file cap will come. Then our peers, you can see with the time it is going on. Then peer cap. After completion of a peer cap, one by one our girders are being erected. After erection of a girders, the deck slab is coming over that. Then the initial layer over the deck slab as per the construction methodologies and the barriers. And here our model is getting developed. Now to see the clashes, I'll show the clashes also. If I'll run the clash detection here for the whole project model, how it will be visualized. I'll show you this one. There are the different clashes which has been observed after running of a clash. So it is showing those clashes here. So the first clash, what we can see is clash between the girder and the deck slab, which is maybe the valid, may not be the valid, which shows us the whole clashes into the model. So I'll start from now here. Karu start?
हाँ जी करूँगा yes yes.
Okay. So as we have seen timeliner clash detection into the flower project, I'll show you the quantification in the building project. So I'm showing quantification in a building project has many of the elements, many of beams, slabs, foundations. So different things are there. So I'll be showing you quantification in a building project. So to perform the quantification as I have shown, the quantification tab is there. So once I click onto the quantification tab, it will open up this new tab of quantification. Just we have to set up the project. Once I set up the project into the metrics, so you can see after creation of a project, this all tab got enabled. Let's take a quantity takeoff fastly. It takes little time. At the back end, the quantification calculation is happening. It takes time little bit to give us the final data. Then it will show into the color format also our model that which quantity is for what. If I click into the any level or a structural column, let's see, it will give us the quantities. As you can see, we are getting each floor quantities as per the WBS ID here. This data we can share we can export into the XML format, into the Excel format, or particularly we can select any particular element and we can export that selected element quantities into the Excel also. So this was whole about NAVISWORK, clash detection, timeline,
It is
progress.
just like when we have some kind of like any kind of project are going on, so it's generally required one project manager. So project manager are helping to deliver the project on the time with like real time of the costing, right? So it's depend upon this application depend upon the project demand. Sometime we need and sometime we don't need, but for the project that we have large occupancy and there are great number of shareholders and we have more budget like millions of dollars, so then we can apply for the like project management application in BIM 4D and 5D. But for the successfully deliver of any small project also we need application for the this project management, right? So let's see again we have Mr. Rusuke. He will explain you thoroughly about this application of project. Now we have advanced BIM application. So in advanced BIM application, we can see that we have visual.
So when we talk about project management, basically many questions comes because there is a project management, there is a program management. So what are the difference between this program and project? So project is particularly a single project which is handled under the one team. Program comprises of a many projects. So all projects are included. Suppose one program is being run under that different projects come. Usually in project management, for example, if you are taking about P6, so it has a program. Under that program, we are having enterprise resources with respect to that different projects comes under that. So this is the basic difference between the program and project. When we develop a strategy for any program, the same strategy being followed into the projects. And these different projects contributes into the single program. Then, when we talk about this program, as I shown, the different projects comprises to the project. The whole project or the program performance objective is totally depend upon the budget. These are the three pillars: budget, time, scope, and this all has to be with respect to the model, with respect to the quality. This is the project management triangle. So moving to the critical path method, there are different methods as we all know. So out of that, one method which is critical path method also there. It has a activities, event, dummy activities. So these all the things we knowledge of these all the things we require while developing the schedule into the P6. What are the activities? What is WBS work breakdown structure? Under work breakdown structures, these activities are coming, events coming, dummy activities, that is we call it as a the zero slag activities, or it is like imaginary fictional activities which we add, which does not represent any specific operation of the process, has zero duration, that is zero slag also there, zero, so not a zero slag, zero duration is there. When we talk about the events, it marks the completion of preceding activities and the beginning of the succeeding one. So this whole including one event. Activities which has a duration and identifiable, quantifiable, measurable, and discrete lowest level component of a work which must be performed during the course of the project in order to achieve the project mission. Then the critical path. What is the critical path? The critical path, it is the longest path in the network where the slag is zero, where we are not having a time for the rest. If any activity on a critical path get delayed, my whole project going to get affected. So in short, the critical path is this. So when we talk about the scheduling, when we are performing the scheduling activity or developing the schedule inside the P6, we should know the activity type and how it is getting represented. We should know the first activity, which is the head event, the second is a tail event, and the process known as the activity. So here, suppose if we are developing a wall, so so for developing the wall, the activity will be like the event will be like the start of the construction of wall. The tail event is the finishing of a wall construction. Inside that, the arrow which is shown here is an activity. Then that many things comes. The brick structure, the plastering, coloring. So these are the activities comes in as a known as a activity. The second is an AON representation. So here A is a predecessor, which is producer for the B. Okay. Okay, start करूँ?
हाँ.
Hello, Amanji.
Yes.
Screen visible है properly?
हाँ जी.
Okay. So in a project management, we are having the P6 scheduling. So we develop our schedule inside this software, which is P6, Primavera P6. Primavera P6 has a standalone software also, the cloud-based also. We can manage more than one project inside the P6, and that too at the same time. So I will show you the basics of this project management initially, basics of this software, how it works. It has a different tabs at the top, which helps us to work onto the project. So in initially development of a project inside the P6, how it happens? We developed our enterprise project structure. So enterprise project structure, you can see there are different projects inside these enterprises. You can see here the ENC, energy, manufacturing projects, corporate, IT, L&T. So these kind of different projects are there, which is being developed at a standalone. Okay. We have to initially develop our project information inside the enterprise project structure. After developing, once we get into the projects or once we get our enterprise resources, inside the projects, there are WBS. So in the workflow, we create our own WBS as we have developed here. This work breakdown structure, with the help of this, we are developing our activities inside the activity portal. So we are having, you can see we are having different activities inside this and the schedule with respect to the data. To these activities, we are giving the start time, finish time, predecessor, successor, the resource management inside that. So we are going to create our resources inside this work breakdown structure, inside this schedule to get out with with a proper outcome of a schedule. If I'm clicking on any activity, we could able to get here what are the resources we have to link, what is the predecessor as I shown you, what is the successor of it. So to this activity, as it is an initial activity, it has a successor, that is shifting of rebar cage from jig to mold. You can see. Then the relationships, what is the relationship we have given? So on theoretical part, I have shown you there are relationships, start to start, start to finish, finish to start. So those relationships we are going to give here. You can see finish to finish, finish to start, start to finish, start to start. How much lag has to be there? Lag is that after completion of one activity, the second activity, when it will start with a zero lag, with a one lag, 1 day lag, 3 day lag. So we are going to give this information into the relationship. Inside the project, we are having different tabs: activities, resource assign, WBS, to assign the baseline, expenses. So into the resource sheet, we are going to create the different kind of resources here. We have to add the resources inside the resource sheet. So how we are going to add those resources? That will be streamed into the live sessions. Then if we go into the view tab, we are having different scales. We are having the column, time scale, filter. We can filter our activities inside the view. To come out with the enterprises, we are having the calendar also option. We have to create our calendar initially only. It is very difficult to develop or alter the calendar after start of the project. So we have to initially define our calendar inside this calendar portal. We can modify also those calendar. To modify this calendar, we are having like work hours. In a single day, how many work hours are there? So we can edit those work hours also. Or if you want to do in a detailed, if you'll go into the whole day, 1 day activity, we can show it here. Like you can see from the 7 to 1 o'clock, we are having working time. Then from work 1 to 2 o'clock, we are having break time. From 2 to 6, sorry, 7, we are having working time. And that here in a representation given, it's a dark means non-working, white means exception, and the standard is what you can see here. It's a standard. So like that, we have to give a timeline, or we have to define the hours into the day. How many hours the work is going on. With the help of that, we are going to create our activities inside this. So to create the activity, suppose if I'll click here and I just need to add the activity here. So it is getting added the new activity. We can give any XYZ, any activity name, and the time we have to define here, the predecessor we have to define. So these are the activities, are dummy activities we call, because no relationship given. You can see into the bar chart. This is our standard bar chart which we are having. So this is whole about the P6. P6 usually used software for the development of a schedule and to monitor the progress with respect to the baseline. Baseline is a planned activity, and in actual we are developing second baseline, third baseline, fourth baseline, and then we compare our latest baseline with the first.
So then we can apply for the like project management application in BIM 4D and 5D. But for the successfully deliver of any small project also, we need application for the this project management, right? So let's see. Again, we have Mr. Rusuke. He will explain you thoroughly about this application of project. Now we have advanced BIM application. So in advanced BIM application, we can see that we have visual programming, right? The rendering and the AR, augmented reality and virtual reality application. So first we will see that what is this visual programming and what is this application of the DYANMO. So you can see this is an particular type of project that you can find, like if we have such kind of planning, such kind of model creation. So basically see, this is like we need to write down the script in one software, and we need to apply for the structure, and we have more control over the structural element. Now you can see just by scrolling their height, width, depth, we can increase their dimensions, we can control their each and everything, right? So basically this dynamo application, and this is related with the computational design, it is great application of the BIM. You will get to know very like interesting things inside this program. So this is about the BIM 4 year of experience. So you can
So yeah,
see, yes.
so this is the LUMINO software.
So basically, I'll just tell about myself first. I'm Irfan. I have 4 years of experience in the BIM field. So right now, I'm working as a BIM specialist in one of big MNC company. So here, I would like to show what is this software is about. So I'll be taking training on REVIT and then LUMINO. So here, I just taken one sample project. So LUMINO is nothing but visualization software where you can I mean, whatever model you have made in the Revit or something else. So the way you see it in the model aesthetically, it won't look good in the Revit software and all. So for that, we use this other software. There are many software in the market for the rendering. So here for our thing, we are taking this Lumio software. So the process is simple. So once you make the 3D model, all you have to do is export the 3D model to the rendering software, which is here in our case, it's Lumion. So once you open your software, I mean, once you open your model in the software itself, so it will automatically get rendered. And then apart from that, there are many add-ins and there are many lighting analysis here. So however you want to pull the data, however you want to add the material, all these things can be done. So here, for example, it's like a video game. Um, if you want to go friend, you can in your keyboard you can press this up arrow, down arrow. So in that way, you can just easily guide the model, and you can able to visualize everything. So like how will it look like from the outside, and how will it look like from the inside, and so it just gives you the realistic feel. And then if you have the AR VR devices, you can even able to view this model in the AR VR console with the help of this rendering software. So here I have already applied all the material. If you still want to change the material, you can simply, like, for example, if you are constructing any commercial buildings or any villas or something like that, once you make a model and then the architectural part and aesthetically paints and then all the material, if you want to virtually see it before even constructing, you can see it. For example, I'm taking this material. So I'm selecting this material. So here I'm changing the material of it. So I didn't want to see this one. So now I'm changing the color of it. So I could literally able to change the color and then visualize it. So here. So now I have changed the color of this paint. Or if you want to change the color of any material, select this one. And then this has pre-built materials. So where you can choose it. So I want wood finish. So yeah, so by using this way, you can able to visualize whatever you want, and then you can customize the materials. So with the available thing, and then even you can extract the videos from here. So once you've done it, and we have this pre-built materials as well. For example, if I want to keep some trees here.
So this is all about the visualization and project presentation, right?
Yeah, it's all about visualization. And then you can extract videos here. You can make a walkthrough animation, like we are entering this building, and then this is how it will be in the ground floor. You can record a video, and then you can play it up.
So this is the last stage of any project, right?
Yeah. So if you are submitting our project to the client or something else, or if you are pitching it for to get in construction work, you can create a model. You can visualize it. You can show this to the client that this is how the model will be. And if you want to see how it will look from the inside and outside, you can just pitch in with this BIM technology. So basically, BIM is a process where you implement where you implement what are the things you want. It's basically your requirement where you apply this BIM process using this 3D modeling based process. So you use this
And
3D model.
Also we can extract the render images from here.
Yeah, you can extract it.
Okay.
So how you can do is that here I'll go to this photo. And then here, however, you want to set the scene. And then you can even control all the weathers. So for example, here can take the weather here. So I want to know how the building will look like in the evening. And then you can even add few lights where do you want to add the lighting in your building. So all these things can be done, and then sun direction in the morning. So the sun direction is nothing but Aman would have told about this 60 sustainability. In that, you can use this lighting analysis and also. So for the lighting analysis, how we can do is you make a model, and then lighting analysis, where will it be useful is that in the congested area or high-rise apartments or any commercial buildings where you want to fix the windows so that the sunlight should come inside your living hall or something. So once you make a 3D model by using this sun direction based on the particular area where we are constructing, so we can do this lighting analysis as well. For example, here I'm going inside this building. So I have given here a glass over. So here you can analyze it. So if I place my glass door here, so this is how the lighting would be inside my home. So based on that, while in the designing phase itself, you can design where the windows should be, where the glass wall should be, so that the lighting will come inside your house. Why we are doing it? To save some energy, which obviously results in the sustainability, right? So if you have the natural light coming inside your house, why would you turn on your electronic lights and all? No. So in that case, this would be also useful. So for the BIM process, the base would be everything about the 3D modeling. Once you have some basic knowledge on the 3D modeling, later part based on the requirements, you can add it up. For example, 4D, 5D, 60, 70. So totally based on the requirement, and then based on our 3D modeling skill, as Rishikesh was saying, we have this level of information. So here in our model, my level of information should be like a top-notch level where I could able to see everything, even the furniture, even the bolt nuts, and then gate everything. So it basically
Yeah.
depends on the requirement.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So this is all about this software presentation. See, this program are totally like execute with the next we have, you can see this is like AR and VR. What is the application of this AR and VR? So basically the real-time model visualization, see the BIM model in real like environment, marketing impact toward the client, model collaboration in VR. So this is like one kind of application for this like BIM model, and this is like you can attract the client, right? And the marketing impact also you can get on the real like environment, right? You can see on the screen that one mobile application are enabling on the side that where you need to place the adject member. Okay, so it's helping quite. This is quite helpful. Now we will talk about the Indian top challenge and technology investment. Generally, see any aspect of the engineering or any emerging market have their strategy as per their country, right? So the Indian government seems to need for the technology in construction in response to growing demand of housing uh, by a fast growing economy and urbanization. So generally in India we have lots of problem related with the this construction industry, so we need to find the